defeat on November 5th. Reagan.
How should Americans view politicians who take pride in the downfall of an American car company?
I think that's quite sad, but I think Governor Walz unfortunately is living a sad existence after his devastating defeat on November 5th.
Ooh, that's tough, dude. That's tough, dude.
I love it. I love it. Just say what it is. Let's call it what it is.
And I'm kind of biting my tongue on her. She's been doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Trump's press secretaries have been pretty solid. He's very good at picking press secretaries. Tommy Lauren,
I'll give him that.
Huckabee, this one, what's her name? I don't even know.
Carolyn Levitt.
Sure.
Look, Tim Walz is a complete moron to me. I have to be very honest, and I'm not surprised why the American people did not choose him. Nothing against the vice president. With that said, Elon Musk employs 80,000+ Americans. Most of them are working class people. The implications of the stock, let's say this were to continue on for another year, so I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Will the company at some point have to decrease its workplace? Most of those people, I would imagine, probably vote for Democrats, at least some of them. So now you're impacting people who likely share your worldview because you disagree with Elon Musk. Don't buy the car. Just like those guys are saying, let's protest Anheuser-Busch, et cetera. We're just not going to buy their beer. I'm okay with that. But destroying public property, there is no place for that. I agree with Kevin. Lock them up and set an example that this is not what we're going to tolerate in this country.
I mean,
Again, this is CNN, dude. I mean, the pendulum is swinging. I can't imagine they would have two people to disagree with this push for firebombing Teslas in the same discussion.
You know, I like the idea, and there definitely needs to be some form of harsh punishment. I'm not sure I like the idea of them going to jail, especially on a longer term, because after all the destruction and what they're doing, as a taxpayer, I don't want to have to fit the bill for that.
Yeah, I think we all agree that less people should be in jail.
You know what we need? We need to fill jails up with giant hamster wheels connected to lithium-ion batteries, and then they can work to replenish
we'll generate
the charge.
for the chargers for the EVs for Tesla.
Every single podcast, every time me and Josh get together and we talk about jail or capital punishment, he always comes up with this elaborate Sisyphus type setup where they're just in eternal punishment. What was the other one that you were talking about doing? I don't know. We were talking about firing squad. He was I'm not for capital punishment. We should just put them in the rock mines or something.
Yeah. Like they should be like
put them on hamster wheels that generate
indentured servants is a nice way to put it.
That's pretty good.
As they repay their debt to society forever.
Exactly. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, the narrative that's kind of being pushed is, the right boycotted Bud Light for their tranny stuff. It's like, well, nobody was destroying other people's personal property. People were going out and buying Bud Light, which is ridiculous, Kid Rock, and shooting it up. It's like you're spending money to say you're not going to spend money. Like, first of all, that's retarded. Second of all, it's not somebody else's Bud Light. It's yours. These people were destroying Teslas. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars, if not the entire distribution portion of Tesla. Some more Tim Walz bashing. Ready, set, go.
Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters, and forgive me, I'm just reading a quote from Tim Walz. I think I could kick most of their ass.
Oh boy, he'd be in trouble.
Is there any way to know?
Well, he's a loser. Yeah, I mean, he's a loser. He lost an election. He played a part. You know, usually a vice president doesn't play a part, they say. I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her. But she hurt herself, and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group.
Bro, that's pretty tough. Bottom of that group. That's pretty strong.
That was so brutal.
Putting it even below Joe.
The way he goes like, Tim Walz says he could kick your ass. He's like, oh boy. Like it was so like perfectly dismissive. It was like a perfect note in like a symphony. I can't explain it, but that was just
It reminds
delicious.
me of Joe Biden telling Donald Trump that he could beat him in golf. It's like, how delusional are you? So we got, again, Tim Walz. Dude, we're bashing Tim Walz today. I mean, he's all over the news. I mean, I don't know how he got there. People were just allowing him to say things. They probably need to stop him. If I was head of DNC, I would definitely stop him from saying words. But
actually, I think they should let him keep going because they're going to create their own demise.
who's
by just
head of
letting
DNC
him-
right now? David Hogg's over there, VP, V chair.
The Senate Minority Leader is still Chuck Schumer, I believe.
Well, I'm talking about the DNC.
Oh, the DNC. Okay,
yeah. I don't know.
I'm not
That's
exactly
their
sure.
Department of Marketing. I mean, somebody needs to tell Tim Walz that he just needs to shut his
Keep going,
mouth.
Tim.
Dude. Keep
Keep
going.
going.
You could do
You're
it.
doing great.
You could beat Donald Trump's ass. It's like, but this is again Tim Walz. Well, hold on. Let me get Trump on the DOE, and then I got a response from Tim Walz.
Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters and
students like my son who depend on IDEA and individual education plans to make sure that they're treated equally and get the best possible education they can. That's a hallmark of America. I think America's great contribution to the world is our public education system. And of course, Donald Trump doesn't care. And I appreciate you showing that photo because it's so obscene that he would put a mock classroom. We all know he's never been in one. He wouldn't last for a minute. He's never done it. He's surrounded by people who know nothing about education. And they want to make this about bureaucracy and cutting. This is about children. This is about broadband access in their schools. This is about the research you were talking about, pedagogy, things that we learn. And then it's about the Civil Rights Department at the Department of Education that makes sure that we don't have a situation where a Ruby Bridges is escorted to school with police. And so we're back in an area where we can segregate. And he knows that curriculums and those decisions are made on a local basis, but they muddy the water. So look, just like your previous guest, thanks for having her on, but it's chilling. They don't care about law. They don't care about where the American public's at. And that kind of segues to why I'm getting out there. And there's a reason that these Republican Congress members aren't holding town halls, because this is so unpopular they can't defend it. But I'm going to make sure that the voices of their constituents are heard.
Josh said he's got something for us.
Yeah, so I'm just going to throw this out there. The more we watch these clips and the more I see of Tim Walz, I'm going to say from like a broadcaster point of view and from a political commenter point of view, I don't think presentation-wise, optics-wise, he's as bad as everyone says. The reason that we can see these clips of him, like, celebrating the drop in Tesla stock, which, Kevin O'Leary and that other guy, like, correctly, like, and everyone can correctly point out how stupid that was. I don't think he's smart. But I do think, kind of like to the point I was making earlier, where I think this is the only guy they could find that wouldn't be an obvious like upstage to Kamala, you know what I mean, is I think that he does have something though. He's not terrible. I've definitely seen people that are worse that I'm like, how the hell, like, how'd you even get it in your head to get in politics? I could definitely see him like a school board guy and just imagine his level of presentation. I mean, obviously, he's not going to kick anybody's ass. He's not going to kick Donald Trump's ass. But if he toned that down a little bit and had the right opinions, there is, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. Well,
Don't be a faggot and have the right opinions.
I'm saying from an optics point of view. I mean, obviously, as Ken points out, don't do the double clap like overhand wave. Like, don't do that. But like. Aside from that, just like when he talks, it's like
he can't help it though, dude.
You're right, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying he's good. The best thing for him is not to be on TV ever at all. But like you get what I'm saying though, where it's like you could see him being like a state senator, and he wouldn't be terrible. There's something there.
He could be a state house rep. I don't think he could be a state senator. I mean, that would be
certainly not.
He
VP.
could. He obviously is, but. Optics wise, I do think. I mean, he should have topped out at school board. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, yeah, perfect. That's exactly
And then
what I'm
he should have
saying.
been kicked off of that too. But
like, okay, look, perfect example. If he were the principal, would he be like terrible?
yes,
You think so? I don't know.
Dude.
Like I don't.
Tim Walz needs to go find a pencil factory or
He
something.
would be
man.
the one I could kick the superintendent's ass.
Yeah.
But I mean, he should be the spokesperson for the whole reason the Department of Education is being gutted. With that level of insanity, like, where is your level of education? And you have this background, and yet the stuff that you spew out is pure stupidity. So the education department has even failed him, which is a whole other reason why just get rid of it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is like, just take his soul out of his body, replace it with somebody else's, but keep the cadence and the physique. And there's a nugget, you know. It's like, I can understand why.
Josh, you have a
in
really
Minnesota,
low bar for politicians.
In Minnesota,
You have a really low bar for politicians.
well, I know
man.
a lot of politicians. So.